my initial thoughts on this were good. Make the best fights against the best people. I don't care about these fairy tales belts. Make the good fights. DC is a heavyweight who's cutting himself to death to get the light heavyweight. Let's be honest here. He's a natural 230, 235 guy. Stipe is 240, 245, maybe a little bit heavier. DC could get a little bit heavier as well. This is a perfect matchup for me. Really, really good fight. Two very good wrestlers. DC has improved his striking an awful lot, and just to go forward, pressure, output guys. Stipe Miocic, go forward, knockout, one punch knockout power. Showed in his last fight that he's able to put the pressure on guys. Cain Velasquez them, push them up against the fence. This is a dream fight for me. It mightn't be everyone's favorite. It mightn't be a Gilbert Melendez, Diego Sanchez type of fight, but I think this has the makings of just a technical war.
Yeah, I think it's going to be great. Like, we're going to have to wait a while, obviously, because they're doing the Ultimate Fighter coaching as well. So it might not happen. It's very far away, and on the Ultimate Fighter, the coaches seem to never fight when they're meant to fight. But
don't do it. Don't.
Let's just be honest about it. But I think the UFC are obviously trying to Endeavor, the people who bought they were called EING, but they're now called Endeavor. They're obviously trying to make big things happen without Conor, without Ronda. Their GSP's kind of gone again now, so they got to make something happen. I think this was the right super fight to make, and I think like, DC's fought some big guys in the past. Like, he manhandled Josh Barnett. Like, I don't think that the size advantage is going to be too much of a factor. It's a tough one to pick. I haven't really looked at it, but I'd probably wait to make a pick on that one. But I think with John Jones now about to be banned, and Gustafsson's he hasn't really been active. He's hinted that he said he'd come back for DC, but I don't think there's any rush to make that either. So I think this makes sense, and I think it's the right match to make, and I think it was actually a good choice to put them on the Ultimate Fighter. Usually people may not like having to wait so long for two divisions being put on hold while the Ultimate Fighter's been filmed, but I don't really mind. I think it's a great fight. I think maybe it'll create a bit of buzz around the Ultimate Fighter as well, which is waning recently. And even if it doesn't, it doesn't really matter. It's not that long. It's not as if it's going to be a year or anything like that. So I think it was the right thing to do. I don't mind that the divisions are being held up. I think it's good. And I think the two belts thing will make it sell well, and whoever wins will come out bigger star than they were. So I think it's a really good decision to make this fight.
Yeah, I'm not sure that the divisions are being held up, because the two guys in pole position for title shots are Cain Velasquez and Alexander Gustafsson, and both of them are still coming off of injuries. Both of them need a full training camp to get back in. What is it, February now? 5 months away until that fight? That's fine for me. Put both of them on the same card. Have them fight. If they win, give both of them title shots. Easy. The divisions aren't being held up. I think people are just looking for excuses to be mad about this, to be honest. And there really, really is none. Cain Velasquez especially. There's nobody else at heavyweight. Look at that heavyweight division. What was it last week? We talked about it. Over him, Stipe is beating over him. He's beating Ngannou. He's beating Verdum. Velasquez is the next one. Mark Hunt is beating him. Derek Lewis is terrible. This is the right decision.
As we were saying last week, I think it's best if Cain comes back soon to give him a warm up fight as well. So that'll be ironed out. But hopefully Cain can get back and get a. See, the thing is though, if DC wins, then what's going to happen there? Cain put out a tweet that was like, "Oh,
I loved it."
What did he say exactly? Can you remember?
He basically said, "I'm looking forward to that fight happening, and we'll see what happens afterward." Then I'll be
things could get interesting or something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it was. I like that. A little bit of a heel turn on Royal Rumble weekend. Absolutely brilliant. But yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. Like, I think DC will give up that belt if he wins it straight away. And if he doesn't, he'll obviously go back down. But I don't think it'll make any difference. I don't think DC is staying at heavyweight, to be honest. Maybe he will. And if he does, what's going to happen? They'll just make a title fight at at light heavyweight. DC isn't the type of Conor McGregor guy who's just going to hold on to his belt because he wants to hold on to, and to be honest, like when Conor McGregor won the second belt as well, the featherweight belt was given up like 2 days later, wasn't it? So I think DC could be a similar sort of thing. He gets that picture on top of the cage with his 2 belts and rolls off into the heavyweight sunset possibly, and maybe that happens. Maybe Ken Velasquez gets fucked in, but I don't think that's happening. I think DC will go down to light heavyweight, or he might retire if that happens. So I think, you could end up here with 2 vacant titles.
I think it's going to depend a lot what Cormier does on what ban John Jones gets. I think that's huge in Cormier, the rest of Cormier's career. In his mind, if Jones gets a 4-year ban, he might just if he beats Stipe, he might be like, all right, I'm done. But if Jones gets a 1.5 or 2 years, he might stick around. I'd say he probably will stick around.
Yeah, and he could make Jones fight him at heavyweight as well. I was on Submission Radio talking about this, and I think that's exactly the point I was making as well. Thanks for stealing it. That Jones, yeah, it is all down to Jones. But I think this is huge for Cormier as well. Like we talked about last week, and the severe snippet, have a look at it over on YouTube, was about Jones and this kind of the stench of Jones still being on DC. This is a game changer for DC. It really is, this fight, because if he wins a heavyweight championship, nothing got to do with John Jones. John Jones had never been able to come up to heavyweight as of yet. And if he goes up and wins that changes his whole legacy for me, because there's no shadow of John Jones over that, and I think it's a huge fight for Daniel Cormier. And, I think everything about this fight is just great. I don't think it holds up divisions. I think it's a very, very good fight. I think both of them are getting time to prepare. It's coaching tough. It's grand. Like when you're just after coming off of fights, and when you have the fight already booked and added up, and it's international fight week, and you can build to it. I think it's all good, to be honest. And we come on here and criticize the UFC and Bellator and promotions an awful lot, but when they do something like this, they make the big fights. I always say that, and my New Year's resolution in MMA was not to care about the belt so much and care about good fights. And hopefully the UFC have listened to it, and they, it looks like they have, and hopefully they keep doing it.